El programa con las buenas entrevistas a tus luchadores favoritos. Con la voz de la experiencia, Superboy. Y las vaciladas del bandido. Ya comienza el programa Hablando de Lucha. Hablando de Lucha.
Buenas tardes a todos, ¿cómo estamos? Hoy edición especial Hablando de Lucha en jueves. Y más especial porque va a ser English. Como ya saben, aquí está mi compa, Superboy.
¿Cómo estás, mi querido bandido? Aquí súper emocionado de esta siguiente entrevista para el evento que viene este sábado 23 de julio, que es una victoria más para las damitas luchadoras, porque esta es una cartelera totalmente de mujeres, así es que va a estar fenomenal, y igual que las entrevistas que estamos haciendo en estos últimos días, especialmente hoy mismo. Mi querido bandido, pues tú dirás, ¿a qué horas empezamos? Que estoy, que se me queman las habas.
Pues vamos a empezar, recordamos que ahora vamos a hablar en English.
¿Le vamos a poner el ESPN o
el ESPN aquí? Porque son morritas hablan puro English y vamos a tratar de hacerlo mejor para comunicarles en español. Vamos a empezar. Una muchacha que en el último evento me sorprendió mucho, honestamente. ¿Qué onda, Legionario? Ahí está el Legionario.
¡Saludos, mi Legionario!
Me sorprendió mucho en el último evento. Llegó y dio una muy buena lucha. Y la que hice en este evento de nuevo, ella se llama SEVANI. Hey, how are you?
Hello, SEVANI. Nice to meet you for the first time. Unfortunately, I wasn't there at the last event, so I totally missed your match. But looking forward for this Saturday. Looking forward to your match. Looking forward to getting to see you in person. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a great event. We've been talking about this event, and it's another victory for all you women wrestlers out there. You guys been coming up in the past years. I've been talking about this, back in the even 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even in the 90s, women wrestlers were not recognized as, wrestlers, up until the mid or the late 90s. And, you guys have come a long way. And that's why this event is called Victoria para todas las amitas luchadoras, all you women out there. And, you guys go out there and you guys give it your all. And, I've seen matches where all these men wrestlers out there, they're like jaw dropped, and you guys are amazing. So, looking forward for this Saturday, 23rd.
Saturday 23rd.
There we go.
This match is really, really important. I'm gonna tell you why. There's someone that's really looking on. I think I'm not gonna say she's worried, but she's a little concerned because of all the talent that is coming out recently, and that is our champ, Viva Van. She's looking at all the girls out there. I had a little talk with her today, and she was like, "Hey, Joe, are you trying to get me a new challenger?" I'm like, "Always." And these two girls, I see a good match with our champ. But Jin, tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you get started? How did you get started in wrestling?
I got started back in 2020, I believe. I started at the Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy prior to the pandemic, and since then the pandemic started and I started training with Mariachi Loco for a little bit, but then I returned back to Santino's. So it's been a little bit of a rocky road, but it's been really good, and I'm very happy with how things turned out. And I always I truly believe that everything happens for a reason.
Wow, that's great. Looking back at Santino's, they started, in the 90s, and, they didn't start with their gym, I think, like early 2000.
Yeah.
And they've been bringing up a lot of good wrestlers, they're out of their schools. And, I'm so proud of them because, they just, I remember Joey Chaos. I remember Supreme. Yeah. When they were part of the audience, they would go, sometimes they would go and see some of my matches. So I remember, seeing, being part of the crowd. Later on, I would see them in shows, and It's just amazing how the love of wrestling or lucha, whatever you want to call it, it's just so it attracts a lot of people, and some of these people are they want to go and become wrestlers, and I'm so, like I said, I'm so proud of them. They come a long way, and their school is one of the best schools there is. Brothers.
Completely.
Well,
yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
What I'm really was really impressed was with you. I think I even told you after your match. I was really surprised. You did an excellent job, and
thank you.
When I was thinking about this event, you were one of the first persons in mind, and the second person I had in mind is someone that's ready to come up online. Her name is JOHNNIE ROBBIE. Let me see. Is she ready? Hey, how are you?
Hello, Johnny.
What's up, Super Boy? Is that how you wanted it, son?
Super Boy. No, that's great. Awesome.
Well, we are happy to have JOHNNIE at this event. She is also a women's champion for, I believe, VWE or
VWE, Venue Wrestling.
Wow, out there in Orange County, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
So this match is really, really interesting match. I've seen a lot of her work recently at a lot of MPW shows, and I've been seeing a lot of her work with VW. She took out Zyra, their champion, but now she's coming into our home, which is we're walking in, and Jin, she was there at the last show. She made a name for herself a little bit. So what's the feelings coming into this event? One, being an all-women's show. Two, facing Jin SEVANI. And three, having our champion's eyes on you guys.
So going in, I'm just excited to go in. Just like you said about her, she made a name for herself. That's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to wrestle everywhere, anyone. I just like wrestling. Or love it. Facing Jin, I'm excited. I've worked with her once before, but it was a different area, and I think this is going to be different. It's going to be a lot better, especially because we've worked already. So that's going to be awesome. Viva is someone I've always wanted to work with. That's actually a dream match, you can say, of mine. We're from the same area, so she's on a bucket list. So hopefully I can cross that.
Oh, wow. And a bucket list. Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. You know what? No, it's I've been saying, I can't, emphasize it enough, that NTLL has a really good eye for scouting. All you women out there, you guys are some of the best coming into NTLL. And, like I said, Bandido really does, do his homework in scouting you guys and bring you guys, he wants the best. And I think, that this event, all women's event, I hope, I'm hoping it'll be a success and it won't be the first or the last one. That means more work for you guys, that means, more entertainment for the people. And this is what we're looking forward, to keep on doing. And, Bandido has a great staff. He has a great eye. And, we want to continue with this. So, yeah, congratulations, because, let me tell you, Bandido's a very, very picky guy, and he's not just picking just random people. No, he's doing his homework. He's scouting you guys. He's watching you guys, and he's bringing you over. So, he's looking for the next contender for Viva Bon. And let me tell you, Viva Bon is something, not to take easy. She's our champion. She's a multi-champ. She has various championships. So it's not going to be an easy task, but it's going to be fun. Yeah, you want to check it out your bucket list. I know.
No, and I want to say something real quick. Someone just comment. This person goes to a lot of shows out there, and I always see what she has to say, because good or bad, she always has a point, because she's at a lot of shows. She says that was an awesome match. The championship well deserved. She's really good. I believe that's for JOHNNIE about your championship match with Zyra.
Oh, at VW. Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot.
And we got Jose Rodriguez. This man right here, he supports the Mexican president. He likes the Morena. He admitted that today. So what's up, Jose? Profeta Junior. Saludos. RMW is another our sister promotion in Santa Barbara, who will probably be reaching out to you guys really shortly. But Johnny, you know, one of the things that I've noticed a lot is you're constantly working. You know, you have your eye on the prize, and you know, Jen SEVANI. You know, a lot of people don't know her, including myself. I didn't know her, but she surprised me. So I would be like, do you have a battle plan, or are you ready to go into it? Because with her, I think she could surprise anyone really, really quickly. What I saw at the last event.
With Jen?
Yes.
I think she's that. How do I explain it? She's like that secret diamond. Like you like people don't know. If people don't know about. Oh, okay, like she's amazing. All she needs to do is get more bookings, get on more shows, get out there more. Already, like I see her getting her name out there. She's getting booked for a lot of other places. She just needs to be seen on more phones, whatever the crap it is. So I don't take anybody like. So, I don't take anybody, and I think just more people need to watch her.
Now, what you just said. Now. You're not going to be one of those stepping stones for her, are you? It's not going to be that easy Saturday.
No, hell no. I don't take it I said that people would think less of me when they and then but then I'm like, oh no, like let me surprise you. So I expect that from everybody else. I don't take anybody lightly. I see whether you're like small, big, whatever. Just as badass, just as tough. So
now I want to say a quick shout out to Nick Lopez. Nick Lopez, a fan from Bakersfield, California. It's a little upset, as well as we all are. We had to cancel. Unfortunately, it was out of our hands. The local promoter canceled on us, and we're working to go directly ourselves out there, NTLL, without a local promoter. So hopefully we'll be out there soon. But like I said to everyone that got their money back, you're more than welcome to come to the show here in Palmdale on Saturday or the following show, and I will comp your tickets. No problem. Anyone from Bakersfield. But Jen, you just heard what Johnny said about you. Very nice things. I wish people talked that nice about me at Super Bowl. Now, going to Saturday, I saw you. I saw you, man. You know, you went up against I believe it was Hit Girl, and you manhandled these girls. You're diamond in the rough, but you're not that nice of a person in the ring. So Johnny's being really kind. So what does she have to expect on Saturday?
I mean, like, I appreciate the things Johnny said, first and foremost. And Johnny's a really tough competitor. And when I say I'm going to bring my all, believe that I am. Like, I don't take, like Johnny said, I don't take anybody too lightly. I feel like every person that you step in the ring with is always a challenge. And those girls were just in my way of the number one contendership, and unfortunately, Arya had to step in my way. But with that being said, on Saturday, Johnny can expect my 110% and nothing less than that.
Well, here's a. She gave it a thumbs up, but close one eye.
Yeah.
Alondra dice, I think they need to give her more opportunities to show us what she really has. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of women wrestling right now. We like that too. Promoters should give more opportunities. Well, I don't know if you've been noticing, but we have been doing two women matches in every show. We're trying to push our women division. We're building. I want to build a strong women's division, and you know we're including two women matches in every show. And not only that, you know, this Saturday is an all women's event. You know, we're pushing strong the women's event, and it's not easy. It's not easy as a promoter because a lot of people still don't understand how powerful the women are nowadays. When you tell them about women wrestling, they think about Glow. You know, unfortunately, they think about Glow and they think about that. And I've given away a lot of tickets to all those non-believers because I want them to see how badass you guys are. And like I talked to a lot of you guys on off the record, and I told you guys I really need you guys to bring your A game on Saturday because we need to prove how badass you guys are. And you guys are gonna make us or break us. I could only do so much, but it's all in your hands, right, Superboy?
No, yeah, definitely. And I wanna say something. Unfortunately, if you didn't have cable, you had to watch Flow on Channel 13 back in the day. But if you had cable, you just tune into the Japanese women wrestler. That's where I became a number one fan of women's wrestlers because they were going all out. They were doing stuff that some girls were still trying to figure out how to do. Back in the 80s, they were awesome. And, I couldn't get enough of watching the women's wrestling in Japan, not only in Japan, but in Mexico, even though they were not recognized, but they were traveling to Japan. And Jesus Christ, the things that we're doing, high flying, suplexes off the third to the outside, crazy stuff like that. And it got me hooked. And you know what? I think, that's a little bit of what we've been focusing on, just trying to pick those matches back with an all women's wrestling event. Like I said, Bandido has a really good eye, and he's been scouting for the best. So like I said, you guys are part of the NTLL crew now that, he's seen you, he saw something in you guys, and you guys are awesome. You guys have a really good background. I was just talking to Jin Savani, Santino's. Mariachi Loco, my God, Mariachi Loco, he's a great wrestler. He's SoCal, and he started with WPW, and he's gone up that ladder, and he's a really talented kid. Unfortunately, like you were saying, Johnny, you know what? Sometimes we need to be seen more. We need more promotions. We need more promotions to really book us, and not only promotions. What we really need? We really need is TV. We really need TV so people could see us out there. I don't care if it's a channel nobody looks at, but just you'll be there and people will recognize you. Because I guess that's the best thing that could happen. A lot of these guys, a lot of these women are going not only to Tijuana, they'll go to Tijuana to get some ring time, but try and go in Mexico and make it. If you got to AAA, you might not get paid, but you'll get that, you'll get your name and yourself out there, So, NTLL is doing their part. Bandido just said it, every card he books 2 women's matches, and I don't see it anywhere else. He's been doing a lot for the women's division, and he brand new belts, brand new everything. So that's just a little bit to let alone that NTLL's been doing it for the past how long you been in the business, Bandido?
1999.
There you go, since 1999. And and also I've been reading over here, we have Profeta Jr., that he is also bringing a lot of the women wrestlers to his promotions, Lucha Libre Independiente. And he's bringing a lot of names from Mexico. He still needs a little bit more work on scouting and booking better matches. But he's bringing the women's division also, and we gotta support you guys because I think the women's division is one of the best. Finally WWE got on, because if you notice, back in the 80s and the 90s, there were ring girls, announcers, and that was it. Now it's totally different. A lot of these people go to watch the women wrestlers, and until right now, I think it looks like he's the only one carrying and doing something for the women's division. Aside a few years back, I don't know, you guys ever went to AWS with Bart? He was doing all women's matches, and he was I think booking with some other company and doing all women's show. But he left, and that was it.
Wow.
But there are a lot of women wrestlers in SoCal. But they're here, there, and just trying to get just I hope all these promoters are listening. Get a little bit smart. Book Johnny, book Jin Savani. You guys are out there, and you guys are great. And looking forward to seeing you on this 23rd at the Victoria. This is a victory for you guys, for all the women wrestlers, the women's division. And I can't be any more proud of NTLL for booking this. And I can't express myself how happy I am to be part of this event.
Well,
thank you.
We were talking about when we started. A little quick history note. Back in the day, there was a guy named Fantastico and Mongo. They wanted to do a tag team called Santino Brothers. Mm-hmm. And at that time, we had our gym in Van Nuys, in the city of Van Nuys, in my backyard. And Fantastico went out, and we had Joey Chaos show up with Mongo. And that's where the idea of Santino Brothers started, in our backyard. Very long time ago.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Hey, that's how a lot of guys started back in the day. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, most of these guys were backyard wrestlers.
Actually, I think I can say I'm a backyard wrestler. Actually, I don't know. I can't do that. But I did train in a backyard when COVID was happening. I trained in a backyard for like months, just by myself. I would grab a family member and stuff, and I would train in the backyard. And then when my school closed down, I was training in a backyard for the meantime because I was trying to find a new place.
Well, I guess at any given point, I remember a lot of the OGs from the late 60s, early 70s. There were not a lot of wrestling gyms, or you would go like nowadays.
Yeah.
You have a lot of places where you go. They were going to parks and train. They were training at parks, and it's not. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just trying to find a place. While you find a place, you're gonna go and do whatever you have to. I remember, as a kid, training in my living room. My dad would say, "Yeah, okay, come here. Do a front roll, do a back roll. Do this, do that." And in my living room, and it was, it's just part of this business. It's just once you get hooked, it's there's no way going back, and you're hooked.
My question for Johnny. So, how did you get started in wrestling? Tell us a little bit about how you got started and what attracted you to wrestling.
So I didn't grow up watching it like a lot of people or anything like that. I knew the mainstream names or the bigger names. Didn't watch it, and then my husband actually started watching it. And he put me back, and I was watching Sasha and Charlotte and Hell in a Cell, and I was like, you know what? I think I want to try this, and here we are.
Wow! Awesome.
Wow.
It was, a cool story, but
no, they're all cool. I love them. I don't think any less of your story because it's cool. We all started. I know people that they're big stars nowadays, but if you hear their stories, oh yeah, I remember my dad taking me by the hand, taking me to a wrestling show, taking me to a lucha show, and that's when I got hooked. At one point or another, when I was old enough to pay for my bus or whatever, I would go to the gym. I started training, and you hear all these stories. That's why I love this program, where you talk to people and they tell you how they got started in this business, and it's it just brings you back to that one day you started, that one day you got hooked, maybe watching it on TV or going to a live show. And and it's just addicting. It's just awesome, and I love you guys' stories. So yeah, don't think less of your story because it's awesome. Like you said, you saw them that inspired you, and you said, you know what, that's what I want to do. Yeah. And another thing, that I'm so proud. I'm so proud that I've had a lot of guys come up to me and tell me, you know what, you were one of the reasons why I became a wrestler. That's
amazing.
It's mind blowing. You just don't know what to say, and that's just doing your part. And sometimes you might not think it, oh fuck, I had a shitty match or I wasn't happy with my match. Well, that's you, but there's the opinion of the people that want to go see you, and it's just awesome. That's why I love this business. You know, there's a lot of ways to look at it. And, you know, either way you look at it, it's always a win-win a situation with this business. But, you know, just go out there and do it because you love it. The day you don't feel it in here or you don't have those butterflies, stop doing it.
Yeah.
Stop doing it. But as long as you have that feeling, man, go out there and have fun.
Now,
you need to be like an inspirational talker.
No, I've been there. I've been where you guys are at. You know, it's a long road. It's a very long ladder, but it's not impossible to get there. It is not. Believe me.
a lot of people don't know. Superboy was one of the first local luchadores wrestlers from SoCal to actually go to Japan and wrestle in Japan.
Really?
And him and that guy in the t-shirt. And he was actually one of the first wrestlers, SoCal, to be hired by AAA and get fired. Not welcome. Not listening to Conan.
No, it's not. It's not even that. But you know what? If you're coming up in this business, you know, if you're smart, you know, you just can't go with the flow or say what somebody tells you to do. You know, if you seen you're being disrespected, that's the way I looked at this business. If I was being disrespected, you know what? That's it. Thank you very much. I nos vemos. You know, and you know, you don't go where you're not going to be respected, or you know, and sometimes, you know, there's so many stories, so many things, but yeah, I think if you're gonna do it, it's because you love it. I know when you break into business, you got to pay your dues, and you know that's. You know, putting a ring, setting up a ring, or, you know, working for a year without getting paid, you know, that's paying your dues, you know, after you know, before back in my day, you would have to train at least for 3 years before becoming an actual wrestler, you know, and you know, things were very different back then. Everything has moved on so very fast. I know guys that train for 3 months, and are, you know, but don't get me wrong, you know, if you have the right chemistry, you know, you're gonna make it big, you know.
No,
let's not go too far.
You know,
work. Come on.
I disagree there with Sergio. I think chemistry is very important, and this is what advice I want to give you girls, and also use it against me. If I ever put you in a situation like this, it's okay to say no. It's always okay to say no. You see something you don't like with any promoter. And this is where I talk to other promoters, and they ask me about like women, you know, like the division. And I don't book them stupid. Don't use it as a gimmick. And I think, you know, that's what affected women's wrestling way back in the day, that they were booked as gimmicks, as a gimmick match. And nowadays,
they were being ballet. They were, you know, they're just coming in the ring with somebody. No, women have come a long way. And like I said, if you didn't have cable in the 80s and you're watching Glow, you had a bad idea about what women wrestlers are. But if you did have cable, you know, and you were watching the women's Japanese division, oh my God, you know, it was brutal. Just put it that way, you know. And like I said, I was hooked. I've been a fan. And, you know, and I admire all you girls, because it's not only that you have to put a lot of things aside, you know, sometimes, you know, if it's your parents or might be your husband or your partner, whatever, but somebody not agreeing with it and they say, you know, no, don't do it. You know, sometimes you listen to these people, but if you have it here, if you have it in your gut, you know, go with it. I was lucky enough, you know, back in the day when I first started, you know, I took my girlfriend for the first time, which is my wife now. And, you know, she saw me and she goes, you know, you're really good. I go, really? Because I didn't think I was good at all. And she goes, you're really good. You know, if it goes, I'm not going to be like the people that say, oh, don't do it. You know, if you think you have a chance doing something in this business, go for it. I'll back you up 100%. Wow. I was blown away. And that's why I gave it my all. And luckily, I was so lucky enough to start with my right foot and just take it to a different level. And I guess, you know, you need to have that moral support also, because it's not about saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a wrestler. No, you have to put away a lot of things. You have to make a lot of sacrifices. And even for the first time you train, I don't know if you guys had a fever or not, but it's brutal. It's brutal. A lot of people don't understand. Oh yeah, he's there. Even running the ropes. I see people just running the ropes and my back.
Hitting the ropes hurts. True. Even I'm like, ugh, but I'm hitting.
It does hurt.
If it hurts, you're doing it right. That's what we would always say. If it hurts, you're doing it correct. And it's like the other day I was seeing a video of this one guy. I never goof on anyone that's training. I think anyone that's trying the best, that's where they should be. But when I see a person that can't do a single leg takedown booked on shows, I think that's we would have a problem. And that's where promoters are going with wrestlers that are not ready. And there's I see a lot of females the same way. We were up in Oxnard. We saw a girl come up from up north, and she had beautiful gear. She had a nice mask. We were like, wow, this girl's she's ready, and she didn't know how to do anything up there. We were like, wow. So one thing is, as a promoter, I think that we have to support women's wrestling, but like Superboy said, do your homework.
And let me tell you one thing, SEVANI, what did you have to give up to have this wrestling dream?
Myself, well, actually a lot, since like you said, my dad's really traditional. He didn't really approve of what I was doing, but sometimes you have to choose yourself and what you want to do over, even if it breaks other people's hearts, or like you have to go against what they believe in. And that's also something I did give up for wrestling. But
wow, that's awesome. What about for you, Johnny?
What do I give up?
Yeah,
I guess my time to those around life in general, because like I'm driving, all the driving and everything put into it, and then training in general, and then working out. It's just time, my time.
Yeah, no, and this is what we want you to say, what we want people to hear. Especially those people that are thinking about, be part of, trying to be part of the business. It's not easy. It's a bumpy road. It is. You got to give up a lot of things. Sometimes you don't have a gym nearby. Maybe you have to drive, I don't know, maybe 50 miles. I see people come from San Francisco, driving from San Francisco to go do a show, where they're not getting paid. Mm-hmm. And that's the love of the business. I think that's, sorry for the word fucked up, but I think as a promoter, if I know you're coming from way over there, hey, you know what? Hold on. Here's some gas money. Here's this. Here's that. At least. I was so lucky enough that I traveled to San Francisco, Minneapolis, Texas, all over the place, and I always had a plane ticket. I always had a hotel where to go to. I was that lucky enough to have everything just booked ahead of time and just get there and let's go, let's do this. You finish, you go back to your hotel, you rest, you went back home, and this is just, like I said, giving up a lot of things and just focusing on what you want to do, what you want to expect, and always, like Bandido said, never be afraid to say no. If you don't agree with it, I let go of lots of opportunities just because they weren't right. They were not right. But again, I am so proud of you guys. Just think about it. This event, Victoria, it's a victory for you guys. And, I say you guys because you guys are booked in this event. And I want you to take it, bring it to your heart, because don't take it lightly, and like I said, I hope NTLL keeps on doing these events, all women's card, and you get that support from all the people, all you listeners out there, come and support all these women wrestlers that, you guys are hearing from, firsthand, what the things are they giving up and the sacrifices they're doing just to be a wrestler. Sometimes you see yeah, she's my idol. Oh yeah, I like it, but they don't go and buy a shirt. Yeah, come on. And I always say, one way of supporting these women wrestlers or men wrestlers, go and buy their merchandise. Hey, buy a T-shirt, buy a 8x10, whatever it is they're selling. Support them. And I always tried and support everybody that goes to a show, everybody. And sometimes I'm in the mic and go support your local wrestlers, go support, but yeah, it's a beautiful business. And like I said, I'm so happy for this coming event, 23rd Saturday victory. And it's a victory for all of us, especially for me, because I'm going to go see firsthand you guys wrestle. And, you guys are two opponents that are, that are kind of similar as the way you guys been brought up in this business. But yeah, I want to see some pulling and some punching.
Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors for this event, that Maribel Correa. I don't know if you guys know her. She's very talented. La Lucha Lady, custom gear for all women, and pretty much she's doing men also. But big shout out to Chicago for her.
Wait,
and,
put that is so I can.
And and that's one of the reasons when we talked to her. Remember Superboy a couple months back, and that's where the idea of this show started, was when I was talking to her, and she was telling me a lot of the girls that are out there and everything. I'm like, and I think I told Superboy, I go, dude, we have a lot of women wrestlers here that people don't know about, that people should get to see, and that's where the idea of this event came from. Was talking to her, but Johnny, Jin, this will be a great match. But all eyes are going to be on your guys' match, believe it or not. From the back, we have.
I said, who put this pressure on us? No,
Bandito, there you go. Look at him.
Who had these two?
The girl with the Chinese belt, Viva Van. She's like, she loves her belt. She doesn't want to give it up, and she's seen all these girls coming into to NTLM. And she's seen competition, and she's ready for it. So it's pretty much open. Like I told her, hey, any of these girls are ready to move up. Be ready. The challenges could come out. There could be multiple challenges made to her on Saturday. Who knows? And I said, don't be afraid to do it, right, Superboy?
That's correct. We got to go out there and prove that we want to be in that number one spot, the number one contender. Not only be a number one contender, but maybe be the next NTLL champion.
Now, Jin, which has been your toughest match so far?
My toughest match so far, I would want to say it was my match with Johnny. Also, for sure, Johnny. I have a few. Johnny, Viva Van, or Sandra Moon, for sure. Those were my toughest challenges because they all three of them bring something different to the table, and you can tell that they're super passionate about wrestling and they don't take it lightly. And that's always really good to have an opponent, somebody who takes it serious and just, and wants it just as bad as I do. And I feel like that's what a lot of people lack sometimes, is the need and the passion to want it. And definitely Johnny, Sandra, and Viva, they bring it.
Well said. That's exactly right. If you're not hungry for it, don't even go after it.
What about you, Johnny? What has been your toughest match?
My toughest match? My match with Sandra was pretty tough. Sandra. I had a match with Gordon Cruz. I've had a few. It depends, each one I go into, because I've had storylines where it's multiple things. So now it's a new challenge in terms of how my character is going to react, or how Johnny wants to be in terms of that. So yeah, but I would say Sandra and Jordan as of now.
Wow. And what's your dream match?
Ooh, crap. Dream match. Can you ask Jin?
I'm gonna throw it right back at you.
Okay, we'll go. Superboy, what would have been your dream match?
Wow, my dream match. Let me see. I'll throw it back at you. What would be your dream match, Bandito?
Yeah.
My dream match, I think, if we could rewind time, I would like to see a Superboy in his prime versus a Super Astro in his prime.
Oh, we did that. We did it.
Yeah, but I wasn't born yet.
I guess you were. No, you know what? One of my dream matches were, believe it or not, wrestling. The locals. A lot of people say, "Oh, I wanted to wrestle. I wanted to wrestle so and so." Big names. No, I grew up. I grew up in Southern California, back in the late '70s, early '80s. Watching a Jalisco, a Super Astro, Falcón de Oro, my dad, my brothers, Al Murrieta, and I always said, one day I'll be wrestling these guys. And yes, I had that opportunity to tag up with them, to wrestle against them, to wrestle beside them. So much things that I learned. I grabbed all this knowledge and I put it up in a little bundle and I took it with me wherever I went. And believe me, it worked. It worked like a charm. And those were my dream matches. And I could tell you, I wrestled Mil Máscaras. I wrestled Yushin Thunder Liger. I wrestled Jesus Christ. Not Jesus Christ. Jerry Lynn. Dos Caras. I could go on and go on, and so on. But yeah, those were the original Tiger Mask. Oh my God. He was one dream that I had, either tagging up with him or wrestling against him, and I got to tag with him back in the late 90s, and that was like one of my highlights. But like I said, again, wrestling the local superstars, that was awesome.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. There's a lot of, like you said, locals or like indie talent that I would want to wrestle. One being Rick Rosas. My other mentor, Shane Hayes. One of my trainers, Seth Skyfire. He'll never wrestle again, but it's like I want to wrestle the people around me that like I talk to, that I steal from because they inspire me so much.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Around me, that's like if I like your wrestling, or if I'm like drawn to you, I'm just like I'm constantly bugging, taking from you, and trying to like make it my own. So
yeah.
No,
and you learn a lot from that, because I remember somebody coming up to me and telling me, "Oh, what did it feel wrestling with El Hijo Santo?" I go, "Why don't you ask him what he felt wrestling me?" Because really I didn't feel anything. It's just that for me it was just another wrestler, and that's the way I looked at it. I never see a star status. I saw a next opponent. I saw another wrestler, and like I said, I got to wrestle big names, but none came near wrestling El Jalisco. Wrestling like I said, a Super Astro, Falcón de Oro, or KKKs. There were these guys that were so crazy. They were called the KKKs. They were the first guys I ever wrestled. Man, they gave me a beating. And I remember one of them, they were two that were dressed the same. They would shoot me to the ropes, and they had a chain. They had all kinds of stuff, and they were giving me a beat down. And I remember one of them saying, "Hey, pick him up, throw him again." And I was like, "No, don't throw me no more." Breaking into business, and man, they really kicked my butt. But you know what? If they tell me, "Will you do it again?" In a heartbeat, I would definitely do it again.
That's awesome.
Now, so Jen, who's your dream match? Johnny always told us hers.
I have way too many people I want to wrestle. I mean, I just started, so honestly, like the list goes on and on. It's everybody and anybody, like especially like you mentioned, SoCal has a lot of really good talent. A lot of them that aren't really looked at the moment, and I think that, like Johnny explained earlier, SoCal has a lot of hidden gems, and like I would love to wrestle everybody and anybody, because I mean, I feel like any match you have is a dream match because you're still out there and you're wrestling and you're doing the thing. But I do have a long list.
And that's awesome, because at one point or another you're gonna get to wrestle all of these people. And like I said, you know, you're going to gather up everything that you're going to put in a little bundle, and you know, and that's going to be part of your repertoire, because you know, not only you know, the way I looked at it is I looked up to these guys, and they had so much knowledge, they had so much stuff to you know, so you could learn from. And like I said, I grabbed it. I grabbed everything that I could.
Yeah.
These guys were great. They were coming from Mexico. They were coming from different places of the world. And I remember this one guy. We used to call him El Sordomudo Cruz. He was deaf. And I think he came from El Salvador. And he was awesome, man. He had the technical wrestling, the mat wrestling, and that's one of the things that I loved. And I would go in there with him, and he would show me a lot of stuff, and it was just awesome. And even though he couldn't hear, but man, the guy was like an encyclopedia of holes, you know. And like I said, I grabbed all this knowledge and I used it on my advantage.
Now here's a comment from a person, another great Lucha fan for years, and I like her comment. She says, "We need women wrestlers to come out and kick butt, not to come out and look cute or pretty."
I feel like women have been doing that lately, especially in SoCal. A lot of girls have been coming out and giving it their all, and not just, you know, standing there. And
I want to disagree with that, because they've been coming and looking pretty and kicking butt.
There you go. But now, is there any luchadoras that you guys have like curious to see, to wrestle with or anything?
Yes, but
yeah.
You right.
Oh.
Okay.
I recently started getting more into lucha and luchadoras, and correct me if I mispronounce her name. I definitely have been looking at a lot of Lady Shani.
Lady Shani.
And Princesa Suge. And then, there we go. And then I have been really studying both of them. Those two women are amazing and really, really good.
Definitely. And let me tell you one thing. Have you thought of doing training a lucha libre?
What was that?
Have given a big thought of just training full on lucha libre? I
did for during the pandemic. I did. That's when I was with mariachi. We would just train lucha. That's awesome.
Yeah. So how did you like it? What was the difference you noticed from wrestling as far as lucha libre goes?
I do know that lucha libre is a little bit more fast paced, as well as everything is on the opposite arm. I really enjoyed it, and sometimes I try to incorporate lucha as much as possible into my wrestling, because like I have it there, so I really enjoyed that type of style. So I try my best to do 50-50 of lucha and American, because lucha libre is really fun. It's a lot more rolls, jumping. It's I like it.
Well, let me tell you one thing: you can't go wrong with that combination, because if you compact wrestling, if you compact lucha libre and Japanese style, the strong style, it's a great combination. That's what people have been doing from the 90s. I don't know if you guys remember back in the early WCW years when they brought Yushin Thunder Liger, they brought a couple of Mexicans, and they were doing the high flying. They literally stopped the match and said that you can't fly over the top rope. And they cut this. And you know, later on, not far along from that, you started seeing a more high flying, more smaller wrestlers, you know, just flying and doing a lot of lucha style. You have guys like Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, a lot of names I can't remember, but you know, they were doing that combination of lucha and wrestling, and it just blended in perfectly. They went to Japan, they made names for themselves. Benoit, Chris Jericho, Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko. Those were the strong four back in Japan in the 90s, and they were kicking butt left and right, and they had a unique style, you know, and they combined all three schools together. That was the perfect combination. Later on in the late 90s, early 2000s, they did that transition from WCW to WWE, and they were all successful. You know, they were all successful. You know, back in the day, if you want to become a name, you would go to Mexico and get some ring time after Mexico, you will go to Japan. So when you came back, you had a lot of ring time. The British Bulldogs, that's just to name a few. Bret the Hitman Hart. A lot of these guys that went to Japan and went to Mexico, they came back different wrestlers, totally different wrestlers. I think the only thing that difference from American to Mexican and Japanese, like I said, is the strong style. Mexican is the fast pace. You said it, and American wrestling is more psychology, than But now you got you don't have the big monsters anymore. So they're doing the high flying, they're doing the fast pace, and they're doing the strong style. And that's the universal language in wrestling, because you really don't know how to speak Japanese or Spanish or English to be a great wrestler, because lucha, once you get into lucha, lucha. Once you get into American wrestling, you know wrestling. If you go to Japan, you're gonna know Japanese wrestling, and you just catch on. Wrestling is the international language of wrestling. That's the language, and you can't go wrong, and you won't. And believe me, you'll catch on in a heartbeat.
Now, Johnny, so any luchador you've been interested in?
Yes, Tormenta. I think that's how you say it.
Chica Tormenta.
You
just lost her mask too.
Yeah, I met her recently, and I got to watch her. And there you go. Like I said, someone on dream match. Just once I found out who she was and everything else like that, I was just like blown away by her.
That could be made possible. Anything could be possible. Right, Superboy?
That's correct. You know what? All these girls from Mexico, Mexicali, Tijuana, hey, they're eager to come over here and kick some butt, and I'm pretty sure you guys also want to go down there and kick some butt. So, we want to see these matches. And, I think the only person that can make it possible is TNLL, because he's got the right hookups. He's got the right connections. Mexicali, Tijuana, Texas, anywhere there's women wrestlers and wrestlers, he's got the hookups, and he's bringing these guys. And, I don't know if you see the last cards or some of the cards in these past 3 years. It's been a lot of adversity, a lot of different wrestlers from different places.
I don't want to rain on our parade, but since you bring it up, and these two girls are actually involved in August, now that I did clear it up with Johnny, which I totally did bonehead. I thought I had talked to her already, but it's all good now.
Yeah.
August 14th, locked in.
Hey.
Look at that, Superboy.
Awesome. There you go.
Extreme Tiger, Hammerstone, Perkins, Dos Caras, Vito. And I don't want to give nothing up, but just look at this part right here. This is a key part. We'll have more information next week.
I'll watch.
Oh, come on. I was going to barely look into the screen.
Okay. One more second.
That's
Wow.
Right here, Superboy. Key part.
Okay.
We're going to do the unexpected. But this Saturday, we have Noche de la Victoria. Johnny versus SEVANI. This will be a great match. Honestly, I think from here, we're going to have to end the show pretty much.
As the super.
No, but let me tell you one thing, and you're talking out of your butt, Bandido, because you book all matches are main events. From the beginning to the end, all these matches, you can't go wrong with any of these matches. I can't say any match is going to be my favorite because they're all going to be my favorite. And you know what? At the end of the day, the people that's going to win is the people that show up to this event. It's going to be an event to remember. So guys, if you don't have your tickets, I suggest you guys buy your tickets, and we'll see you guys there on the 23rd, Saturday, the 23rd. I can't wait for Saturday, and hopefully, they'll let me go and I'll be there and cheer you guys on. And like I said, I'm looking so forward for this event. And again, it's a victory for the women's division. Una victoria para las mujeres luchadoras que han venido desde muy atrás, luchando para ser un nombre de las mujeres, porque de los años 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 no han sido reconocidos como luchadores hasta últimamente.
No.
Se les ha dado ese reconocimiento como luchadoras y es una victoria, es un triunfo muy importante para la división femenil de las damitas. Así es que, por mi parte, felicidades, congratulations.
Yeah.
And yay, we gotta make the best of it.
You hate this.
What?
But I gotta ask.
What?
Who do you got, Johnny or Jen?
No, I'm not gonna pick a favorite, dude. Come on.
Come on.
Do this to me.
Damn, she pressed you.
No, I won't choose. All I'm saying is it's gonna be an awesome match.
All right, Jen left.
I'm excited.
Oh yeah, hey Jenny, I know you're gonna win.
I didn't leave. I'm at the park.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's a joke. I always put Superboy on the spot, and I always ask him, and I always get him a little nervous there. But it's hard to really pick a favorite for this match, honestly, because I've studied both of you guys' video. I got to see Jen live, and I'm really excited to see Johnny live. She's totally awesome. If you haven't seen her work, I'm not sure if MPW has a YouTube, but she works a lot with MPW. And a big shout out to Logan. Logan, I haven't seen him in years, but he used to work with us a long time ago.
Oh,
Logan, right? Xavier?
yeah.
Yeah. I back then I think he that was his work name, Logan X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's you gotta check out her work. And Jen, I really was blown away by her work on our last event. And when I saw this match, I was like, this has to be a great match, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of the best matches of the night.
Thank you.
I really want the fans to really enjoy the show, because I want the fans to go home with a different point of view of women's wrestling. I want them to appreciate what women could do in this sport and how important a women's division is in the federation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the goal for this show. And, I just hope to see you guys do the best on Saturday, 7 p.m. There will be a meet and greet about 7 p.m. before the show starts.
Okay.
And during the show. And bring your merchandise. A lot of people ask for merchandise. I didn't bring merchandise last time, did you?
No.
So bring your merchandise. The fans like merchandise.
Got it. Thank you so much for having me. My phone, I don't know when it's going to die, so.
No worries. I will see you Saturday. Jen, Johnny, have a great match. Superboy, see you guys on Saturday. Thank you, guys.
Hey, good luck, you guys, on Saturday, and we'll see you then. So, hasta pronto, hasta luego. Mi querido bandido.
Superboy, ya se fueron. ¿Cuál es tu favorita? ¿A cuál le vas?
A ninguna, a las dos. No voy a decir, porque siempre me pones en los pad y luego salgo perdiendo.
No, así está el cotorreo, amigos. Va a ser una muy buena lucha estas dos muchachas. Yo pienso, son muchachas que no les han dado el crédito suficiente. Yo le digo a todos mis colegas, todos los promotores, cuando contraten a una mujer, denle la oportunidad correcta. No las contraten, no las pongan en mala lucha, ¿no? ¿Cómo se puede decir, Superboy?
Mira, muy sencillo, mi querido bandido, que hagan su tarea, que estudien a las luchadoras, no nomás tráiganlas porque te la recomendó alguien, o porque está bonita, o porque está buena, disculpa la palabra, no, hay que ver el trabajo, la calidad, para que las pueda traer uno y que sigan creciendo ellas mismas, porque tú sabes, si tú las traes, ellas vienen a hacer su trabajo igual que cualquier otro o luchador, porque hemos visto muchas veces que vienen a figuras de México con unos nombresotes y a la hora de la hora no dan rendimiento en las arenitas donde se presentan. Y la verdad, ¿para qué vas a traer eso? Por eso, antes de contratar a alguien, por favor, estudienla, vean quién es, cómo se llama, cómo lucha, quién fueron sus entrenadoras, y es muy sencillo, mi querido bandido. ¿Qué haces tú? Te metes a YouTube, pam, 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 pones su nombre, pam, 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 y que ahí sale todo un historial de luchas de estas damitas o de la persona que estás buscando. Muy sencillo.
Es como todo, es que también cuando hago los eventos de música, entro a ver los YouTube, entro a ver los comentarios. Tienes que aventarte todo un día haciendo tu tarea, honestamente.
Claro, claro.
Saludos a la Jarochita, que aquí está, saludos, nomás le mando saludos a su...
Saludos, mi Jarochita. Un fuerte abrazo.
Pero ahí están, saludotes. Oye, pero Superboy, te tengo dos grandes noticias.
A ver, dígame, cuénteme, platíqueme.
El 21 de agosto, domingo 21, regresa la RMW a Oxnard, California.
En Oxnard, wow.
RMW en Oxnard. Y está preparando mi compa el Red, un super cartelazo.
Wow.
Les voy a decir ahorita, 21 de agosto, Oxnard, California, RMW. Y una semana antes, amigos, les tengo el 14 de agosto, Locked In. Mira nomás.
Ahí está, 14 de agosto.
Va a ser ese otro magno evento que no se pueden perder, amigos, porque vamos a hacer algo inesperado que ya tengo mucho tiempo queriendo hacer y va a ser algo espectacular. Se los puedo decir desde ahorita. So, ahí está, Superboy. Nos vemos el sábado en Palmdale con la noche de la victoria, y el 14 de agosto otra vez aquí en Palmdale. Va a ser nuestra nueva plaza por un tiempo aquí, la Transplants. Me gusta mucho esta plaza.
Me encanta esa plaza. Ahí fue donde fue el show de Navidad, ¿no?
De Navidad.
Sí, a mí me
ahora
encantó.
Hicimos más, vamos a cortar el escenario por la mitad para hacer más espacio. Va a quedar muy chingón. No, lo único que vamos a estrenar una nueva barra adentro, va a tener su cantina adentro.
Wow.
Está quedando muy bonito el lugar, y nomás todo el lugar, el atmosphere de ese lugar está muy chingón, ¿eh?
Sí, la verdad que ese diciembre, la verdad que la pasé muy, muy, muy grato. Fue la primera vez que yo anuncié para la NTLL. Me divertí, me la pasé muy a gusto, y ojalá y que haya quedado contento el público, tanto como tú, mi querido Joe, de ese evento que fue mi primera vez que yo agarré un micrófono y tuve la oportunidad de trabajar contigo. La verdad, me sentí muy a gusto, me sentí como en casa, y gracias por esa oportunidad.
Y ahí está, amigos. Pero ese sábado, si el Superboy se siente bien para el sábado, acá lo esperamos. Mandamos al Uber por él, ya sabe, el Uber Capulina.
Ahí está.
Aquí la compañía. Y así lo hacemos, amigos. Este sábado todavía quedan pocos boletos de primera fila. Aprovechen en ntluchalibre.com o mándenme un mensaje directo, y así lo hacemos, amigos, para que vayan a la noche de la victoria.
Y yo se lo doy por Amor Blanca, para la Jarochita, para Yeya, para Londra, Maribel Correa, un fuerte saludote para todas ellas que se metieron ahora para escuchar la entrevista, y recuerden que va a ser la victoria, una victoria para mujeres femeniles, así es que vayan a apoyarlas, vayan a apoyar a este evento de puras mujeres, así es que primero Dios, y si Dios nos lo permite, ahí estaremos este sábado 23 en punto de las 7 de la tarde.
Ya lo dijo la Maribel Correa, la Lucha Lady, que si se hace la segunda parte de Noche Victoria, se deja caer desde Chicago, ¿eh?
Fenomenal, ahí está. Y que se traiga un poquito de material. Ya ves, aquí nunca que se te haga rodilleras, espinilleras, lo que tenga ahí, que tenga de sobra o de extra, para que las venda por acá, porque ya ves, en veces es duro conseguir unas buenas rodilleras.
Exactamente.
¿A ti te voy a comprar unas, mi querido bandido?
No, yo no ocupo.
Sí, pelón, sin rodilleras, mucho mejor.
Consuelas, Superboy, consuélate. Ahí está. Así nos van a ver este sábado en la noche de la victoria. Nos vamos a portar muy bien. Y quiero que sepa, Superboy, que me extraña porque todos los compañeros que dicen, hey, cabrón, te queremos ir a la lucha, no son viejas, güey, tienen que ser mujer para el evento. Tenemos más compañeros queriendo ir a ver este evento porque va a estar fuera de serie.
La verdad que sí, la verdad que sí. Y sabes que voy a hacer todo lo posible para estar en este evento porque no me lo quiero perder, mi querido bandido.
No, pero la salud viene primero, Superboy, y esperemos que te sientas bien ese día, porque los fanáticos desde el último evento te estuvieron preguntando por ti. Un saludo a mis compas de Top of Mis Papas, que ahí estuvieron en el último evento, y le dieron de comer a todos los luchadores, a todos le dieron comer, y este evento van por lo mismo. Ellos les va bien en la venta en los eventos, y a todos los luchadores siempre les dan de comer, porque son fanaticados de la NTLL. Muy agradecido.
Fíjate que para este evento me voy a llevar una botella de whisky. ¿Por qué te ríes?
Oye, nomás, eso me voy.
¿Y sabes para qué?
¿Para qué?
Para llevar buena salud.
Oye, hey, ahí lo que sobra es buena salud. Es una cervecería.
Papá, pues ahí está. No llevo botella, pero mira, saludcita, mi brother. ¿Qué le hace falta al enfermo? Salud.
Exactamente. Ahí lo que sobra es lo que sobra. Y tienen una variedad de, yo pienso como 20 cervezas,
Sí, pues las estuve haciendo sample la última vez. Buenísimas, por cierto.
Sí, están súper buenas. Ustedes tienen 2 nuevas que me gustan mucho. Para que le caiga su para ponerte happy.
Eso es todo. Primeramente, Dios, ahí nos vemos este sábado 23 por de nombre que lleva esta cartelera Victoria. Y como vuelvo a decir, una victoria para todas esas mujeres luchadoras que han forjadose y han batallado bastante para simplemente llamarse luchadoras.
Ya dijo, nos vemos el sábado. Que la pasen bien y como le digo, quedan pocos boletos. Mándenme un mensaje o entren a ntluchalibre.com y ahí pueden comprar sus boletos. Buenas noches, Superboy.
Sí, buenas noches, mi querido bandido. Pero antes de irme, recuérdale a, ¿cómo se llama esta muchacha? La de las Maribel Correa, no se te olviden las rodilleras para el bandido, que digan bandido.
Oye, no, y nos debe un equipo para el Capulina.
No se le olvida,
el equipo de referee exótico.
¡Ey! Lo estamos esperando.
Estamos esperando. Ahorita me está mandando acá un mensaje. No, y quiero que sepas, también quiero felicitar a Maribel porque el primer evento que tuvimos de regreso en marzo, trajimos de Texas a una gran luchadora que se llama Jasmine Allier.
¡Wow! Buenísima.
Y la semana pasada debutó en WWE, tuvo su debut en WWE y usó un equipo de la lucha lady, nuestra amiga Maribel Correa. Qué chingón,
Mil felicidades para ella y estuvimos platicando con ella, la tuvimos entrevista aquí, así es que vayan a YouTube, busquen la entrevista porque la tuvimos aquí nosotros antes que la tuviera la WWE.
A la Jasmine y a la Maribel Correa, Tenemos que invitar a la Maribel Correa para atrás y a la Jasmine.
Definitivamente, la verdad, para que nos platiquen un poquito de esa química que tienen entre ellas, de una que le mandó a hacer el equipo y la otra que le hizo el equipo. Sería muy interesante saber cómo se comunicaron, cómo se llegaron a comunicar para poder trabajar juntas, ¿verdad? Y un orgullo para Correa de ver sus equipos en una empresa tan grande como la WWE.
No, y hay varias muchachas, ahorita mandó una que se llama Red Velvet que luchan en AEW.
AEW, correcto.
Tiene
varios allí en AEW.
Estuvieron en Chicago y la invitaron ahí a backstage para que trabajara con la de Wardrobe.
Wow.
Entonces, nos va a arriba nuestra amiga Maribel Correa, nomás que no se olvide de nosotros los pobres y a toda madre, ¿no?
No, ya sabes, mi Maribel Correa, lo único que te pide el bandido son unas rodilleras.
Dice,
en uso, mi querido bandido.
Oye, Superboy, ándale, ahí anda la guía.
Ya se fue a dormir la guilla, no te apures ya.
No, ahí está. Pero, Superboy, la neta, hemos estado bien afortunados aquí en el programa de conocer grandes personas y me da mucho gusto porque les hemos dado la oportunidad a que se den a conocer un poquito con el público y les ha ido bien. Yo pido que nos han dado la bendición y se les hemos regresado.
Fíjate que les diste la patadita de la buena suerte, ya ves cómo se hace normalmente en la farándula, de darles una patadita de la buena suerte. La NTLL les ha dado esta patadita de la buena suerte a casi a todas las luchadoras que han venido a esta empresa y la verdad que les ha ido muy bien. Como te digo, mi querido bandido, tienes un muy buen ojo para escoger a estas damitas y la verdad, hasta ahorita ninguna ha decepcionado. Todas ha sido de muy alta categoría y muy alto rendimiento y la verdad, por eso digo todo el tiempo, todas las luchas de la NTLL son luchas estelares, no sea la primera, segunda, tercera, la que sea.
Le gustes. Dice, no apurarse usted que lo van a chingar. Oye.
Ya estoy acostumbrado, ya. Ahora sí, como dice, mejor pedir permiso, perdón que permiso, pero no, por eso no vamos a pedir perdón, ni permiso.
Ahí está mi Superboy. Superboy, primeramente Dios, te veo el sábado para seguir cotorreo ahí en vivo y a todo color. Y amigos, los esperamos este sábado. Esperamos su apoyo porque honestamente, sin el apoyo de ustedes, no podemos seguir haciendo estos super eventos. Gracias. Y nos vemos el sábado. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.